Well, I mean, if you saw Small Bones Pen and Theo Walcott's, that's all you want to see, man. Chelsea got over there in the end, people. Shout out Kepa and all of them things, as I said. But now it's finally time to review Arsenal's performances, or better yet, our performance today. Now, end of the day, on the surface of it, the thing I liked, first things first, Arsenal have kept a clean sheet. Second of all, we've scored 2 goals. Third of all, Leeds are a wounded animal. I can't really focus on the league, but Leeds' form is poor. So to see us like we did against, we haven't done it against teams in form, but Spurs, Villa the other day, teams that are not in form were able to keep compiling the misery, and we did what we needed to do. The only really bad thing I would say about this game for me is that nobody really, the people that are on the cusp of the first team, as an Arsenal fan, you're not sitting there and going, wow, now Arteta's got something to think about. Pepe Martinelli didn't grab their chances at all. Ainsley Maitland-Niles had a decent game, but again, it isn't going to disrupt any of the midfield pivot. Holding did all right, probably one of our better players, but again, didn't do too much there. I actually think Leno had a good game in what he could have said, and it could have been a different game at a point, really. We did kind of at times unnecessarily allow in the latter stages of the first half Leeds to grow into the game, but ultimately we did what we needed to do. When I cast my mind back going out throughout the game from minute 1 to around 10 minutes, I felt Leeds looked like they had cold feet. They were losing the ball cheaply. We had them pinned in their own half. We're pressing well. I think Eddie deserved his goal today, but he looked quite sharp. Other than that, Martinelli and Eddie looked like they were on it today with the pressing at the start of the game from minute 1 to 10. We kept Leeds in their own half. They had no options. They kept going backwards. Like anytime Millier tried an expansive pass, he might have got it off, but it was going backwards and backwards and backwards. Into the game, really. So yeah, we weren't really doing much. I didn't feel there was enough for the man in possession going throughout the whole game, really, where the first half was concerned. At a point, Ben White and Holding some terrific passes and bringing it out from the back, but they're looking like our most attacking players. And Kolasinac has had an effort where he could have done better. Really, it wasn't much. But if I'm saying our defenders are doing this, then we're in problems. Pepe is busy, but Pepe is being Pepe, to put it nicely. Martinelli's touch is baggy, and he's kind of, for me, I didn't really see enough from the left-hand side because Kolasinac weren't attacking that much, and Martinelli's more of an inside forward. He's not going to hug the touchline, so there wasn't much there, and we had the frustratement of Pepe and obviously Cedric bombing down that flank. Really and truly, I feel naturally you're going to be lacking a lot of rhythm in the game, obviously, because of the changes we've made in relation to our playing out from the back. We've got rid of Ramsdale, we've put Leno in, 2 new, Ben White's the only guy who stayed in the team, and obviously the midfield, and that El Nene and Maitland-Niles are never going to be the most expansive people on the planet in that regards. So we did kind of have to give or take, but I did feel there was enough on the pitch to offer a bit more, and I feel the man in possession in terms of forward options there wasn't enough today. And to be fair with you, there should still be building blocks because you're all doing the same sort of training. So yeah, man. We need a bit more from everyone. From minute 20 to 25, I think we allowed Leeds to grow into the game. Leno's made a fantastic save. Llorente's picking out some good passes out from the back. And I felt we did against Villa, that first 20 minutes, could we have smelt blood and put the game to end? And I think Leeds had a better finish to the start of the first half. Sorry, they had a better finish to the first half than they did the start. So at halftime, my thoughts are we're lacking in rhythm, we're misplacing passes, part due to the changes, part due to we're just lacking quality, not enough forward runners. I think we're too open on the transition, and we're a bit naive, like we're not making the tactical fouls. I only saw Cedric and Leno had looked to understand game management. As I said, our defenders are looking like the most attacking players, and Leno has made a save. So this is telling me we're not offering much, really. A lot of players are frustrating me, Pepe in particular. Nobody fundamentally is laying down a marker to get into first team plans. And as I said, Leeds are creeping back into it. They probably had their better chances on reflection in the first half. Harrison had an effort. Roberts, should have probably done better with some of his efforts. and whatnot. Second half, obviously, it was more of the same, but I did think we started to turn it on. I think the key point was obviously when Chambers has come off the bench and Pepe technically gets the assist. When he's headed in the first goal, I think that's when we've looked like we've settled. We looked a bit like we're cool, and we started playing a bit of football and things like that. And the second again, Eddie deserves it because he's been chasing lost causes all night. To be fair with you, Leeds on occasion are playing sloppy passes, and they're made to pay with their headed efforts. The young right backs played a sloppy header. Who was it? I think it was Cooper's played an even worse one. Millier couldn't do nothing. He's in no man's land. I think it's a good bit of trickery from Eddie, to be kind to him. It's a miss kick. His blushes are spared because he puts the ball in the back of the net. But he deserves that on the base of it. Eddie's one of the only players I saw that looked a bit proactive, that looked a bit hungry, that if anyone's laid down some sort of marker, it might have been him, in the Eddie Nketiah derby. He scores against the team he was on loan at. Obviously, he's got 7 and 8 league games stretching from his time at Arsenal and Leeds. Somebody said Yarabel Panelka, he's moving like that. Hopefully, he's put himself in the shop window, especially with the call me things. Hopefully, they're cryptic messages. But yeah, we win 2-0. We keep a clean sheet. We're through to the next round of the cup. Far from pretty, hella disjointed, far from perfect. Players are cramping up. The only issues you can see is there's probably no players, Pepe and Martinelli, 2 players people bang on about getting more opportunities. Sadly, Arteta can point and say, well, they might not have had a run of games and lack that fluidity, but this is potentially why they don't play. There was elements where we could have conceded, but we didn't. Cup action, you've just got to get through, with the exception of potential injuries or whatever around Ben White, Holding, the backdrop of Tierney and Odegaard even not being involved today, to the point where you have to start Smith Rowe, and Smith Rowe got significant minutes. Could you see him cramp up against Leicester? This is a byproduct of when you have injuries, the workload on other people increase. So that's the only thing, really and truly. I think the squad that started today looked like a squad that isn't first choice. Individually, no one grabbed the first team spot or put any pressure on shirts, especially I'd say Pepe and Martinelli in particular, 2 players that you want to see complicate Arteta's attacking plans. But at the end of the day, it's the first test of this week. It is what it is. We're through to the next round. We're not going to have too many opportunities at silverware. We're into the quarterfinals. We can focus on a very tough away trip to Leicester. And that's where it is in relation to that game. Really, there isn't actually any more I can actually say on that, people. So it is